Let's talk Texas recruiting because the Horns are tracking for multiple flips. We are just over a week from signing day, and Texas is going to add more. Over the weekend, they beat Arkansas in convincing fashion, 52-37. Official visitors were on campus, and flip rumors are swirling. We're going to break it down with national analyst Sam Spiegelman, but before we do that, Texas fans, do me a favor. We love talking Longhorn recruiting, so jump on board, hit subscribe to the Rivals Recruits channel. All right, let's bring in Sam Spiegelman and blue chip defensive lineman Jamarian Carlton pop back up on the 40 acres. Second unofficial visit here in a row. No Texas Tech is also involved here. He's committed to Baylor, but who's it really in the running to sign Carlton?
Yeah, listen, this is Texas versus Baylor until National Signing Day. From speaking to sources leading into this visit, there was confidence in Waco that Jamarian Carlton would stay with Baylor if they, established Dave Aranda was going to be back for next year. They got that news on Friday, and Jamarian Carlton played a basketball game and then was on the 40 acres on Saturday morning for a full day of visits, his second visit in a row to Austin. There is a lot of smoke behind the Longhorns as they were a favorite for a long stretch of this recruitment. And again, down the stretch, they have a lot of life. There's a lot more uncertainty in Waco about Carlton sticking after this visit.
Yeah, really interesting. Things are heating up. Now, this is also interesting because we know Texas' offensive line has struggled, and this week, Kyle Flood put out a new offer on the offensive line. Stanford offensive tackle commitment Caden Scherer now holds a Longhorn offer. What are the chances Texas can flip him just a week out from signing day?
Yeah, I like where this is heading for Texas. I don't think it's a done deal just yet. Caden Scherer put a pin in his recruitment a couple of weeks ago after Virginia and really TCU were working to flip him away from his Stanford commitment. He was very excited about the future in Palo Alto. Andrew Luck has played a large role in recruiting him out west. But the offer from Kyle Flood has made a significant dent in his recruitment. He was back on campus this weekend. Kyle Flood was at his school a couple of days ago. There is a lot of momentum in the Longhorns' corner midway through this official visit. I think with National Signing Day so close, it's going to be hard for Texas, who is desperate for reinforcements along the offensive line. It is a priority position for them down the stretch. I like where this is heading with Caden Scherer at the moment.
Gotta love those late offers in the recruiting process. Talk about late. I mean, here we are 8-9 days from signing day, and he has a whole new world to think about. So that being said, what other buzz are you hearing when it comes to Texas flips?
Yeah, they have a host of blue chippers on campus, like you mentioned, official visitors, flip targets. They have a pair of blue chippers committed to LSU on campus. Number one defensive lineman in the country, Big Rich Anderson. I think for the most part, he is likely to stick with the Tigers. But the other recruit back on campus, Rivals 300 tackle, Bryson Martinez. I'm told that of the two LSU commits on campus, Texas has the better shot of flipping Bryson. We'll see if LSU is able to name a head coach before signing day, but this is a storyline that we're certainly monitoring with Martinez making his second visit to Austin this month. And then, of course, there's Caden Scherer's teammate, Jet Walker, big physical running back that, again, landed an offer in the last few weeks, recently flipped his commitment from West Virginia to Minnesota. I think the Longhorns are making it very obvious that they would love to have him as part of this class. And like Scherer, I think it's looking likely that he ends up inking with Texas from what I've gathered so far.
Yeah. All right. What about the other direction? Is there anybody on the Texas commit list that you would tell Texas fans, hey, keep it on? I mean, I think for the most part, it seems like this class is going to stick together maybe 100% between now and signing day. But is there anybody you're watching?
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Max Wright, one of their top offensive line commitments out of the Dallas Metroplex. He was back at SMU over the weekend for the second time in the last few weeks. He was an early commitment for Kyle Flood and the Longhorns, and he will be back in Austin next week for the big one against Texas A&M on the 40 acres, and he'll have a final decision after that visit. But he is back on the hilltop for the second time this month, and things are definitely trending in a good direction for the Mustangs there. Texas is looking for reinforcements along the offensive line and potentially a successor to replace Max Wright in the class.
All right. A lot of drama in the trenches as we head to signing day. Love it. Now, what about 2027? There's a lot of visitors on campus. What intel do you have coming out of the weekend?
Yeah, Texas has always been one of the mainstays with elite wide receiver Julian Caldwell. I think he's the number 9 receiver in the Rivals 300. An early offer for Steve Sarkisian and Chris Jackson in the 27th cycle. He was back on campus. We know that he's been to Oregon and to A&M and Oklahoma and Texas Tech. But I think the Longhorns reestablished themselves either at or very close to near the top with this visit. His entire family was in Austin for this one, his second time there this fall. I like where the Longhorns sit long term in this race. And now I believe that Texas is leading the way for Rivals 300 edge Cameron Hall. That was his second visit again to Texas this year. He's been to A&M, he's been to TCU, he's been to Baylor. That visit, 52 points, a devastating pass rush, really intrigued Cam Hall. He said he felt like he is the number one priority for them in the 27th cycle at the edge position. And I like where Texas is sitting on top with Cam Hall moving forward.
Sounds like it was a great weekend for Texas recruiting. Longhorn fans talked with me and Sam about these flip targets down the stretch. Who do you think Texas adds between now and National Signing Day? Put it in the comments section below.